All right, good afternoon, everyone. We are just waiting for others to join. I'll just give them 5 minutes. Then we start sharing the screen. Then we start. So do not leave. I will give them 5 minutes. So do not leave. I will start by just accepting the ones that are a bit late. Then in 5 minutes time, we start. I will share my screen. So do not leave. Mics. I'll give you time to talk or to ask questions so that we can proceed. So don't worry about the mics. All your mics and your videos have been muted so that we can have progress. let's start. Those ones who are late, we are not going to attend to at this time must attend. So we are going to revise grade 5 and grade 6 time. Thereafter, we go to grade 7, which is the question paper that we left yesterday for grade 7. So in the meantime, we'll revise the grade 5, 6 time. Thereafter, we continue with the grade 7 question paper. So for time, we are just revising grade 5 and grade 6 time. So in this case, we are given time in 24, write these times in 24-hour format. So if you are given 7:30 a.m. and you are supposed to write the time in 24-hour format, which means you are told that a.m. means in the morning. So in terms of 24-hour, you start with a 0, which means it will be 0, and you put your colon, then it will be 30, and you don't write a.m. You don't write a.m. if it's 24-hour format, because it's in the morning, and 24-hour format, it has a 0 there, the place or the hours for the terms. But for the 12-hour clock, you can see it's not having a difference between 24 hour, the 12-hour. If you are given 9:45 p.m., which means it's p.m., we are talking of night, p.m., 9:45, 9 hours, afternoon, which means it is past 9 hours, 45 minutes of night. So if it is past noon, which means 12:00, which is our hour, 45 minutes. To have that hour or that time as 24-hour notation, it's going to be and then 9 plus 2, 11, 1, carry 1, which is 21:45. So here, the time here, it will be 21:45, which means in 24-hour notation. PM, it means it has passed noon time. AM, it has passed midnight, which means it's early morning, 7 hours after midnight, AM, but it's before noon. So if it's 12 midnight exactly, the time for 12 midnight exactly in terms of 24-hour notation, midnight 000 hours. That's 12 midnight. And for 1 p.m., it is past noon time with 1 hour, 25 minutes. So if you want to put it in 24-hour notation, which means noon time, it's 12 o'clock, which means it's noon in the afternoon. And this time has passed 1 hour, 25 minutes. So we are adding 1 hour, 25. There you are going to get 25. And then it's 18:25. It's afternoon. So it's 18:25 in the afternoon, which is its 24-hour notation. Then AM, it has passed midnight. Now we are talking of AM. It has passed midnight. That are late, they are delaying us, and they always interrupt classes. Don't accept this next time. All right, so for 4:59 a.m., you want to write this time in 24-hour notation. We said a.m., it's how many hours past midnight, which means in the morning, and it is past midnight with 4 hours, 59 minutes. So you want to write this time in our notation? No, midnight. It's 00 hours. So we are writing 0, 0 hours. That it's 4 hours 59 after midnight, which means early morning after midnight, which means it has passed how many hours? 4 hours 59 minutes after midnight, which means we are adding 4 hours 59 minutes to that time. So we get 4 hours 59 to that time. And if we add 4 hours 59 minutes, then our time is 20-hour notation, which is 0459 hours, which means this is our time in 24-hour notation. 04. That for 24 notation, we don't have AM and PM. For 24-hour notation, we don't have AM and PM. And for 12-hour notation, we don't have that 07 on 12-hour notation. Okay. Then now we are writing these times in 12-hour format. We are writing these times in 12-hour format. So which means we are doing the reverse. Where you have been adding, now you are now subtracting. How many hours past noon? Which means, for example, we know 14:15 it has passed noon by 2 hours 15 minutes. You are simply subtracting the time in 24-hour notation. Now it's the reverse. Then you subtract hours past noon. We are seeing that the time there, it has passed noon by 2 hours 15 minutes. So we are going to write your time in 24-hour, in 12-hour format as 2:15. And always you must indicate whether it's PM or AM. It has passed midday or afternoon, so you write PM like that. That's how you do it. And then for 23:05 in 24-hour notation, we are given that time in 24-hour notation, and we need to find the time in 12-hour notation. So which means it has passed 12 midnight, 12 noon by how many hours? So we want to calculate. So we write the time which we are given in 24-hour notation or format. We want to know it has passed 12 midnight, 12 midday, or 12 in the afternoon by how many hours? In the afternoon by how many hours? So we subtract. That's 5, 0, and then 3 minus 2, 1, 1. And you know, if it has passed midnight, which means we are using PM, that's why that time it's 11:05 PM. So it's 11:05 PM. So you need to calculate these times to see it has passed midnight, midday, which is afternoon, by how many hours? It has passed by 11 hours, 5 minutes. So if it has passed afternoon, you write PM. Okay. And then for 00:30, you are indicating that that time is how many hours? If it has passed midnight, it's AM. So instead of writing PM, you're writing AM. So you do the same 0 night, which means it's 30. Then you subtract the time it has passed midnight, which means that time, what time is it? So you know that midnight, you are referring to 12:30. This is 12:30, and midnight is AM. AM. 12:30 is the time? Midnight. Hour notation. Then for 16:30, it is past 12. How many hours? So you subtract. 40, it is past 12 in the afternoon with how many hours? So you write 16:40. Then you subtract the hours that it passed 12 noon. So you want to know in 12-hour format, what will be the time? So you indicate your colon 6 minus 2, which is 4. And then that's 4:40 p.m. in the afternoon, which means there's past midday, which means by 4 hours, 40 minutes after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So we use PM. PM. We use PM. Then this has passed. It's in the morning. We said 8 hours, 55 minutes in the morning, which means past midnight by 8 hours, 55 minutes. It has not yet passed afternoon. So that time, instead of writing the zero does not apply. Only 24 hours. So in 12 hours, we don't have that 0. So our time will be just 8:55. 8:55 hours, 8 hours, 55 minutes after midnight, but before noon. So it will be AM. AM. So those are our answers for question number 1 and question number 2 for time grade 5 and grade 6. Like I indicated, I said for the grade 7s, your paper is following after we are done with this worksheet. So you don't have to exit. You are also revising this work as well. Then for section B, it wants us to convert hours, minutes, and seconds. So we are saying 2 hours is how many minutes? We know that 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So if I want 2 hours, which means it's 60 minutes times 2 hours. So when you multiply 2 times 0, that's 0. 2 times 6, that's 120. So there our answer is 120 minutes. 120 minutes. All right. Then we come and calculate again 1 hour, 15 minutes. So 1 hour, 15 minutes. In other words, they want to add 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour plus 15 minutes. When you're writing, that's what it means. 1 hour plus 15 minutes. So when you add those 15 minutes, 1 hour we know is 60 minutes. What is 60 plus 15? You add. So you come and add your 60 minutes plus your 15 minutes. So when you add 60 plus 15, 0 plus 5 plus 5, 6 plus 1, that's 7. So there you are going to get 1 hour, 15 minutes, it's 75. So you must know that 1 hour, the conversion of 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. And for number C, 3 hours, 20 minutes. You are adding 3 hours plus 20 minutes, and they want the time in minutes. So first you convert these 3 hours. How do you convert the 3 hours to minutes? You multiply by 60. So 60 times the 3 hours, 60 times 3. 60 times 3 hours. We want to know how many minutes. So 60 minutes times 3 hours, which means we are going to get 180 minutes. 180 minutes. So that 180 minutes plus 20, because we are having 3 hours and 20 minutes. So which means we are going to add plus 20 minutes. So when we add plus 20 minutes, then you get your total as that's 0, that's 10, 0, carry 1, then 1 plus 1, that's 2, which is 200 minutes. So 3 hours, 20 minutes is the same as 200 minutes. Then for number 2, it's saying convert to seconds. So you need to know the conversion of seconds. The conversion of seconds. For example, we are saying we want to convert 5 minutes to second. So we want to know what is the conversion of minutes to second. We know that 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. So 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. Equals to 60 seconds. So if I want 5 minutes, which means it's 60 seconds times 5. So what is 60 times 5? If I want my answer in seconds. So 5 minutes, 60 times 5, 60 seconds, times 5 minutes, because 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 60 seconds times 5. 5 times 0, that's 0. 5 times 6, that's 30. So the answer there is 300 seconds. So the answer there is 300 seconds. So you write your answer, 300 seconds. 5 minutes is 300 seconds. Then for number B, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. 2 minutes, 30 seconds are indicated that 30 seconds, they are adding it to the 2 minutes. So it's 2 minutes plus 30 seconds. So you must take note of that they are adding 30 seconds to the 2 minutes. So how are we going to work that one out? We are going to say 2 minutes, it's going to be 60 seconds. So 60 seconds times 2, 60 seconds times 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 60 seconds times 2. 0, 2 times 0, that's 0. 2 times 6, that's 12. But we are adding this 30 seconds. We are seconds. Using the calculator, we just add 0. 2 plus 3, that's 5. 1 plus 0, that's 1. So the answer there is 150 seconds. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds, it's 150 seconds. 150 seconds. Okay. And then we are going to the next one, which is convert this 1 hour to seconds. So you know 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. And those 60 minutes, you are going to say 60 seconds. You are multiplying by 60 minutes because we said 1 minute is 60 seconds. So we multiply by 60. We want to know that 1 hour is how many seconds? So 0 as our placeholder, 6 times 0, which is 6 times 0, that's 0. 6 times 6, that's 36. And then 0 times 0, you know it's 0. Any number multiplied by 0, 6 times 0 is just 0. Then you add your numbers. So it's 3,600 seconds. 1 hour is equals to 3,600 seconds. So which means our answer for 1 hour is 3,600 600 seconds. That is the answer for number 2C. If you are given 180 minutes, now we are using the reverse. We are converting to hours, which means you are dividing now. 180 divided by 3. So you divide the 180 minutes, you divide by 3 to get the number of hours. Divide by 60, sorry, to get the number of hours. Because 1 hour, we know 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So when you divide that time, you are given 180 minutes. You are dividing by 60. You are dividing by 60. Mental maths, it just tells you 6 cannot go into 1, cannot go into 18, but into 60 how many times? That's 3. 3 times 60, it's always 180. Then you subtract. Then there's no remainder. So the time there is 3 hours. Also use the short method. If you find it easy, you use any method that you find easy for yourself. The short method, it tells us 60, 180 divided by 60. So if you see there's a 0 on the numerator, it cancels with the 0 on the denominator. 6 goes into 18 how many times? 3 times. This is the 3, which is 3 hours. So you are allowed to use any method of your choice. If you are not told that use this method, you use the method that you understand the most. You are allowed to use the method that you understand the most. So there 180 7,200 seconds to hours. We know the conversion rate that 1 hour is equals to 3,600. 1 hour is equals to 3,600 seconds. So if you are given 7,200 seconds, you are simply dividing to find the number of hours that you need. So it's a division problem. What are we going to divide by? We are simply dividing 7,200 divided by 3,600. That's what we are dividing, because we know 1 hour is equals to 3,600 seconds. So in order to find the number of hours using short division, we are going to say 7,200 divided by 3,600. You cancel the 0 on the numerator, the 0 on the denominator, the 0 on the numerator with the 0 on the denominator. Then this is just mental math. 36 goes into 72. 36 goes into 72 how many times? Apologies for the delay. People are calling. Apologies for that. Let me check if there is someone who wants to join. All right. Next time they must join early so that we avoid issues of calling each and every time. Okay. All right, let's continue with our problem so that we can start with the grade 7 content now. So we are saying when we divide there, we are going to see 36 goes into 72. How many times? We know twice. So it's 2 times. Goes there 2 times. So the answer there, it will be 2 hours. Then 150 minutes is how many hours in hours and minutes? So we are simply dividing that time by 60. So 150 divided by 60, we divide 150, you divide by 60 minutes. You want to see how many hours and minutes. What is very easy is for you to use short method because you are going to cancel the zeros if you are given such a problem. 150, you divide by 60 minutes. So 6 goes into 15. Twice. So it's 2. Remainder 3/6. So 3/6, if it's simplified, that time dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 3. That's how you simplify the fraction. You divide both the numerator by the denominator with the highest common factor divided by 3. So the answer there to be 2.5. Is to be 2.5. Then half an hour. So this is 2.5 hours. We are talking of 2.5 hours. 150 minutes is 2.5 hours. So half an hour is 30 minutes. So it's 2 hours, 30 minutes. So you write your answer is 2 hours. And 30 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So tomorrow we'll continue from where we left so that we can also continue with the grade 7s. However, those that want to attempt the problems, I can share them on the screen. The questions that you may also practice. In the meantime, you can screenshot them out. That's where we are going to start tomorrow. So you can screenshot the screen so that you can see the questions number C, D, and that challenge question. So which means the grade 5 and the grade 6 are covered on. Now we can proceed to the grade 7s from the question that we left yesterday. If you are grade 5 and 6, allowed to exit if you want. You may continue. There is no problem. For 2.11, the grade 7s, we said the multiples of 12 between 50 and 80. A multiple for a multiple of 12, which means if we divide that number 50, the numbers which are between 50 and 80 by 12, they won't give us a remainder. Then that number will be a multiple of 12. So if we want to start from the multiple of 12 from 50, which first number are we going to get? We are going to get from 50. Nav 60 is the first multiple after 50, followed by 72. Then we add again, we have 84. We add again, we have 96. But the instruction is saying these are multiples of 12 because they can be divided by 12. They are multiples of 12. They can be divided by 12, those numbers, without leaving a remainder. If they leave a remainder, then it's not a multiple. So, however, we are only interested with the multiples of 12 between 60, between 50 and 80. If I am to choose 84, 84 is not less than 80. So that's why the answer were only 60 and 72. All right. In the number 492,643, the value of the underlined digit. So we are given the value 492,643. So these are our units, these are the tens, these are the hundreds, and then we are having the thousands. So which means the 2 is representing the thousands. And then the 9 is representing the tens of thousands. And then the 4 is representing hundreds of thousands. So if they want only the place value, then you can say the place value of the 9 is the 10,000. But if they want the value, it's 9 times 10,000, which is 90,000. So it's 9, the value is 9 times the place value. The place value are the 10,000. So 9 times 10,000, it gives you 90,000, which is, this is the place value of the underlying digit, 90,000. Then if they say the lowest common multiple of 18 and 24, the lowest common multiple of 18 and 24. First, you must know what are the multiples of 18. What are the multiples of 24? So first, let's have the multiples of 18, where we are keeping on adding 18. And what will be the multiple of 24, where we are keeping on adding 24. So what you do, multiples of 18 is equals to, so you add 18, the first one, 36. Then when you add 18 again, then you have 54. And so on. Then multiples of 72, multiples of 24 is equals to 24, the first multiple. Then we add 48. We add again. We add from 24, we get 48. We add again 24. Then that's 72. And then after 54, there we are also getting 72 for 18. The multiples after 54, when we add 18, we are getting 72. So after you have found the multiples like that, multiples of each number, then you must find the lowest, which is the common. So the LCM, the number that is appearing on both, is 72. 72. So the answer there, the lowest common multiple is 72. That is the answer which we are having. So for 2.2, it's saying arrange the numbers in ascending order. Do not draw the shapes. If you are given those numbers, you don't draw, you just write them in ascending order. Ascending order, we say ascending order, it's smallest. Whenever they talk of ascending order, it's smallest to biggest. This question, 6 and grade 7, we did multiples. Grade 6 work, place values, grade 6, grade 5 work. And lowest common factors is grade 6 work, grade 7 work. It still applies. So smallest to biggest, you are simply checking the place values of each and every digit. So you check the place values for the hundreds, which means you are arranging those numbers in smallest to biggest ascending order. So when you say in ascending order, the smallest to biggest. So 849,894, 849,900, which means the numbers are increasing now. 948,849, 984,489. Then lastly, 984,849. So that is the correct ascending order. Smallest to biggest. Then when you are adding, use any method. So in our case, let's try to use the vertical column method. But you are allowed to use any method, breaking down and building up numbers if you find it easy. So in our case, we are adding those 3 digits. So which means we are adding all the numbers in vertical column method. So when we add in vertical column method, you can add them one by one. If you find it easy, for example, you first add these 2, then you get an answer, then you add the last digit. Or we can add all of them at once. So let's start with the first addition, which is on the left. 4 plus 1, which is 5. 2 plus 3, that's 5. 7 plus 6, that's 13. 3 carry 1. Then 1 plus 9, 10 plus 5, 15. 5 carry 1. That is the one which was carried. And then 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5. That's 6 plus 7, 18. You write your 3 and you carry the 1. Okay. Then that 1 plus 3, it gives you the answer, which is 4. So after you're done, then you add the last value, which is 5,869. So 5 plus 9, 14, which is you write the 4 and you carry the 1. Write the 4 and carry 1. From there, we add again. 1 plus 5, that's 6 plus 6, 12. 2 carry 1. 1 plus 3, that's 4. Plus 8, 12, which is 2 carry 1. 1 plus 5, 6 plus 5, 11. 1 carry 1. 1 plus 3, 4, and then etc. So you can still add all the numbers straight away without breaking them down. You can still also write them like this. And 59, 724. Then you take 75,631. Then you add also the last digit, 5,869. 5,869. You add them straight away if you don't want to break them like that method which we first used. So 4 plus 1, you add 4 plus 1, that's 5 plus 9. 5 plus 9, 14. 1. 1 plus 2, that's 3 plus 3. 6 plus 6, that's 12. 2 carry 1. 1 plus 7, that's 8 plus 6, 14. Then 14 plus 8, we are talking of 22. So 2 carry 2. 9 plus 2, 11. Plus 5, 16. Plus 5, 21. 21 carry 2. So 2 plus 5, 7. Plus 7, 14. Carry 1. Which we are getting the same answer. That is the same answer that we are having. So you use the same method, but you can use the method that you understand the most. And whenever you divide, I told you first have your clue board ready, the clue board of 12 to assist you, whereby you are just having multiples of 12, your clue board, where you are just having the multiples of 12 as your clue board to assist you in dividing without a mistake. So whenever you have your clue board, you are simply adding 12. Your clue board, which is going to assist you with the mental maths, where you are simply adding the 12. However, if your mental maths is very good, but I advise that you have the clue board with you, to assist. For example, 12 times 1, that's 12 times 2. You are adding 12. 24, you add 12, you get 36. You add 12 again, get 48. Add 12, you get 48. You add 12, you get 60. You add 12 again, you get 72. You add 12, you are getting 84 when you add 12, which is very easy. When you add 12, after adding 12 again from 84, you get 96, which means it's 96. When you add 12 again, which means you are keeping on adding 12, from 96, 108. And then you add 12 again, which means 120. Then that will be your clue board. When you are getting whenever you get a division problem. So you must have your clue board. You are adding those numbers to assist you. Clue board, which is coming from there. So when you are doing long division, 12 goes into 40 into 4. It can't. You put your dot. Can't go into 4. Then you say 12 goes into 49. How many times? 12 goes into 49. You check on your clue board how many times 12 is getting into 49. So you check there is 48 here. But 49 is more than 48, but less than 60. That's where 49 is, somewhere there. So 4 times. And what times the answer is from the clue board. So 4 times 12 from the clue board, you have it already. It's 48. You subtract 9 minus 8, 1, 4 minus 4, 0. When you get 1, 12 goes into 18. How many times? From your clue board, you are seeing 18 is somewhere there. After 12, but less than 24. So it goes once. 1 times 12 from the clue board, the answer is already there. 1 times 12 from your clue board is 12. You subtract 18 minus 12, 8 minus 2, 6. 1 minus 1, that's 0. So you bring down the 9. That is the 9 which you are going to bring down. So 12 goes into 69 how many times? You check where is 69. 69 is somewhere here between 60 and 72. So it will be 5 times. 5 times 12, the answer is there from the clue board. It's 60. You subtract 69 minus 60, then you stop when you are having a remainder. So your answer there, it's 415, remainder 9. Then, these are not fractions. They are just whole numbers where you are dividing. That is the remainder. But when you are dealing with fractions for grade 7s, I told you must be in a position to write that answer as a fraction. But in this case, this type of question, it's still fine if you leave it like remainder 9, no problem. Even if you write your answer as a mixed fraction, which is equals to 415 remainder 9. That remainder 9, it's 9. You were dividing by 12, 9 12ths. But it must be simplified if it was given in a question where the context we are dealing with fractions. So you divide by the highest common factor of 9 and 12, which is 3, to simplify the fraction. 9 12ths divide by 3. So when you simplify that one, it's going to give you 415 and 3/4. That will be in terms of fractions, but it's correct to leave it like this. Just remainder 9, which is correct. But you must know that remainder 9 is the same value with 415 and 3/4. All right. Then the next question for the grade 7s, you are left with about 8 minutes. You are left with 8 minutes to finish up. check. All right, so we are left with 8 minutes. The others want to join, but they're late already. But no one want to join. Others wanted to join because of. So let's continue. Let's continue with the last part. I will share the recording. I will share the recording on the group so that you catch up and practice as well. So for 2.4, there are 40 learners in a grade 7 class. The ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 12. How many boys are there? So you can correct these ones. Instead of may, how many? So we can correct it to how many boys are there. So we are having 40 learners in a class of grade 7, and the ratio of boys to girls is 5. I said here, when you're having this kind of problem, first calculate the total ratio, which means the total parts. We are adding 3 and 2. So the 3 is corresponding to the boys. The 3 corresponds to the boys, and the 2 corresponds to the what? To the girls. So the 3 corresponds to the boys, the 2 corresponds to the girls. Then first you calculate the total parts. So in other words, the total parts is 3, which is our total ratio. So the total ratio, you just add 3 plus 2. Total ratio is equals to 3 plus 2, which is this 3 and the 2, which is 5. So in other words, ratio of boys to girls. For boys, is 3/5 of the number in class, and the girls will be 2/5, which means 2/5 is representing girls, and the fraction 3/5 is representing boys. So if they want how many boys are there in class, so we are talking of 3/5 of the number of learners. 3/5 of the number of learners. So 3/5 of the number of learners is 3/5 multiplied by 40 over 1. Then you can multiply to say numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator from there. 3 times 40, you get 120. 5 times 1, you get 5. Now you divide. 5 goes into 12, how many times? That's 2, remember 2. 5 goes into 20, how many times? That's 4. So the answer is 24. So using short division, 24. So that's how we taught you. So it's the same as multiplying numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, which you get 120 over 5, you divide. Then the total answer, it will still be the same, 24 boys. How many boys are there? So 24 boys in class. And then the total ratio, so we only asked the number of boys, the number of girls was not asked. But if they want you to calculate the number of girls, although it was not asked, you do the same. 2/5 of 40 learners, which means 40 over 1. Numerator times numerator, you get 80. Then denominator times denominator, then you get 5. Then 5 goes into 8 how many times? Once, which is equals to 1. Remainder 3 there. Remainder 3. Then 5 goes into 30 how many times? 6 times. That is where the 16 girls are coming from. So the trick is for you to understand the total ratio first. Then you know that 3/5 is representing boys, 2/5 is representing girls. If you add boys and girls, it's a whole class. One whole class, which means it's 1 over 1. It's a class. Then for question number 3, still applies to both grade 5, 6, and 7, where we are checking which number is bigger. Grade 5, 6, and 7, it all applies to you. grade 5, 6, and 7. So 5, 8, 3, 8, and 5, 8, which one is bigger? So you check the numerator. If the denominators are the same, you only compare the numerators. If the denominators are the same, you just compare the numerators. You are only comparing the numerators between 3 and 5. 3 and 5, which one is bigger? 5 is bigger. That's why you put your sign opening towards 5, 8, because it's greater. Then for equivalence, we are given a missing. For example, 3/4. 3/4 is equals to what over 36? Is equals to what over 36? So which means you want to find the equivalence. What number should I put? So from 4 to 36, what happened? Which operation did you make? Did you multiply? Did you divide for you to move from 4 to 36? Which means I use the operation of multiplication, which is times 9. The same operation, you must use it on the numerator to say also times 9. So from 4 to 36, I multiplied by 9. So which means from 3 to this number, I must also multiply by 9. So my answer, 3 times 9, the answer will be 27. That's how you solve those problems. Then the other one, which is now we are adding 2 and 2/5 plus 1/3. 2 and 2/5 plus 1/3. So you can't add fractions if the denominators are not the same. For example, this one, you can't add fractions if the denominators are not the same. So first you must find the lowest common denominator. So which means the lowest common denominator by finding the equivalence of those two fractions. So this is not grade 5 work, it's not grade 6 work, it's grade 7 work. So we'll continue this one tomorrow, this question. So I will also take last year's question paper for grade 5 and 6 at the same time working with grade 7 question paper. So for grade 7, we'll end here where we are adding fractions with different denominators. Take note that this is paper 1. Paper 1 is term 1 and term 2 work. Paper 2, term 3 and term 4 work. All right, our time is up. Thank you everyone for attending. If there are any questions, let me hear them from you.